One thing to note is that ChatGPT has always been pretty positive. It's always been willing to kind of support you. What's changed is really the range of actions which it's been willing to support. So from examples like if you give it an obviously bad idea, it tells you that it's pretty good, to more extreme examples, like if you tell it that an actor is sending you coded messages via their movies, encouraging you to take drastic actions. It'll even encourage you in the latest update to kind of follow your heart on actions like that instead of what it ought to do, which is sort of caution you and tell you that probably you're not receiving those kind of coded messages. And of course, if you come to it and tell it that you've been having an argument with somebody, it will always take your side no matter the case. So it really in the latest update there were very few areas in which it wouldn't validate you or wouldn't support you.
So why were we seeing this overly flattering response in the latest update?
Yeah, so the process of training one of these models is really a process of putting the model in front of test users and letting them say whether they like or dislike the responses the model's giving. And it's really a question of how much weight you give to that. So this is really an emergent behavior, and it's coming from the people who OpenAI were using to test this model, basically enjoying the feeling of being validated, enjoying the feeling of being flattered, which kind of let this behavior escape out to the public. So when you start with a model before it goes through this process at all, it's really not very helpful. It doesn't want to do things for you. It doesn't really know how to sort of follow tasks. So you have to kind of give it this desire to please you, for want of a better word, in order for it to function as an assistant at all. And what happened here was really just that desire got taken 2 or 3 steps further than it ought to have been.
So what were some of the knock-on effects of this? Some researchers were suggesting that it was dangerous.
Yeah, so certainly something people have been pretty worried about is that if you're in the grips of a psychotic episode or some kind of other harmful delusion, and you take it to ChatGPT during the period this update was live, would have encouraged you to sort of take action based on that, rather than talking you down. And I think a lot of people give kind of undue credit to ChatGPT as this kind of robot intelligence, this like trustworthy figure, where really it's not that. It can make mistakes, it can have harmful biases, and we've sort of seen that happen in the last few days.
What about the public response and the response from the users? Were they enjoying interacting with this update?
Yeah, that's a good question. There are a few different categories of users of OpenAI. There's the highly technical software engineers that use it to do their work. And these people were broadly very negative about the update. Because when you're using ChatGPT to try and help you with your job, and you need it to write like functional computer code, for instance, if it really just wants to tell you that you're great, that's not very helpful to sort of generating code. But a lot of the people who use ChatGPT for therapy or for conversational purposes, from what I can tell online, actually really liked this update. And some of them are even asking for the sycophancy to come back or to be made available via a setting.